What's going on, Tamers? Welcome to DigiPod, the digital podcast. I'm your boy, Varni, first place Core TCG regional.
Hold on, wait, stop. Mike, we should be introducing your Varni, not the other way today.
Sorry.
You're right. Hold on, wait. We got this.
Okay.
Wait. Introducing the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Varni Yearwood, the first place Examon player that won Core TCG regional yesterday.
I believe the only first place Examon player to ever win a regional. No other Examon player ever.
There might have been an EU event. I just can't remember.
Honestly, that doesn't count. We got the first place ever Examon champion.
Today's more like it's Dan and Mike with a special guest. Varni, you know what I'm saying?
Interviewing your Varni.
We're interviewing the champ. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I'm with it. I'm not gonna drive today. I got y'all.
But welcome to the DigiPod digital podcast hosted by DigiGuard United.
It's great to be here. I want to say, it's an honor to be here with you guys. You know, Dan and Mike, I listen to your podcast all the time. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
You know, I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah, no, it's really nice to hear from the fans, truly, honestly. And it seems like, you may have taken... we used to have another co-host who played X... Yeah, we used to have another co-host who played Examon, actually, so maybe you might have listened in or something.
Yeah, that guy, I mean, he seemed like he was an all right guy. I didn't really like his Examon list, so I had to put the spice in there.
Oh.
I had to play
Of course.
What was the spice?
Yeah.
What was the spice?
Yeah, what else? You know, it's Dexmon, right? Like, Dexmon's the spice. I mean, that's what we all put in the deck, you know?
The irony of it was he was telling me I shouldn't play Dex and Digimon, but
I know, right? Like,
he played Dex and something he can't even do up.
I'm going to let Varni talk about it later, but I got to say, game 2 against Lychee, when you dropped that Death X, I lost my mind. Because in the middle of that stream, right, before that happened, like, it was an ad break by Eggman. It was like an unscheduled ad break on accident, dude. So it was Lychee's turn, and we had no idea what was happening on the stream because it was the ad break. The ad break comes back, and all I see is Lychee picking stuff up, and I see the Death X on field, and you play it for free. And I was like, no way! No, I was going crazy.
For anybody that knows, we have our locals is always on Sundays, and obviously we have pre-release. We was in the end of the third round when we heard that Varni was going to be on stream for the grandest matchup, and they were telling us and stuff. And we, honestly, third and fourth round, nobody even cared about playing. I mean, we played our matches, but like the importance was watching this man be in the finals, the top table one both rounds, and put in the work. It was great to see.
It was sweaty, bro. Like they were some real sweat matches there. First, before we get started, Twitch shout out. What's up, Leppy? What's up, Astramus? On YouTube, Captain Soapy. First, what's up, Captain Soapy? Greg, what's going on, Greg? Reese or Reze? I'm gonna say Reese. Let's go. Greg said that was so annoying, that ad break. I can only imagine. I would be tight in the pussy, bro.
He made himself apologize for that one.
Yeah, I guess he didn't mean for it to happen like that, but I was so stressed. I was like, oh my God.
God forbid you lost and during an ad break or something, like, Jesus Christ. I would have been sick.
Captain Soapy came to Twitch. What's up, Captain Soapy? What's going on? Yeah, that ad break was super unfortunate for anybody who was watching and was not subscribed. Bro, when I saw that Death X drop, I was going wild. So let's talk about the story of that Dex, right?
Once upon a time.
In
a land of EX04, EX3.
In a land far, far away. young fledgling Varni somehow found himself at table 1 in the finals of the core TCG regionals. Young fledgling
now
Varni. What?
You gotta bring it back to the day 1 story, EX03
To
days.
the day 1 start.
Talking.
Aye. So,
yeah.
once upon a time.
Failing at ulti cups, I think it was,
Once upon a time, Bandai decided to release Examon not as a red deck, but as a blue-green deck. And a young Varni saw Examon and said, I'm playing that. So,
it's true.
EX3 came out, and a young Varni decided not to buy a case simply because he chose to spend his money on the pre-sales. Don't buy the pre-sales. He chose to spend his money on the pre-sale so that he could have his max rarity Examon deck ASAP. Young Varni, unfortunately, never saw true success with Examon. He tried many a times, but many a times failed. His best finish was somewhere top 64 with Examon. I believe it was top 63 at an Ultimate Cup with Examon. Otherwise, he wasn't doing anything. He then ended up taking that deck again to another top 64 with at a regionals with Examon. Was 1 win away from potentially being top 16, and unfortunately was not able to bring it home. So we come across to BT11, and I mean, BT11 doesn't change anything. BT11 gives us the new BT11 Dracomon, and that's about it. That's 4 new cards. It just replaced 4 rookies in the deck. I unfortunately was not able to participate in the regionals on Saturday because I had to take care of some personal stuff. But I had fully intended to compete in the regionals on Sunday, the first regionals that I was able to participate in for the year. I wanted to take Examon to the Ultimate Cup, but as y'all know, the Ultimate Cup nerfed Examon and other multicolored decks. So this is the first event for the year, effectively, that I played with Examon. It's a deck I'm comfortable with, right? It's just the Examon is what I play. I know Examon inside out. So we decide we're going to play Examon for the Ultimate Cup. And then we come to this part of the story where young fledgling Varni has somehow found...
Regional, you mean?
Yeah, the regional. Where young fledgling Varni has somehow found himself at the top table at the finals in the regional against the best Greymon tribal player out there in Lychee King. And he has just one singular Examon on board. Lychee has a big ass board. Lychee's got Omni X. Lychee has 2 Metal Gray stacks, and young Varni is sitting there and he's like, how the hell am I gonna win this game? It's probably gonna go to game 3. So what Varni does, the turn prior, what he did was he Kaiser nailed a Cordramon. He Kaiser nailed the Cordramon because he needed draw power, but he also needed something to proc, because this is where a lot of Examon players might get screwed up. They would try to force an attack on the next turn, but they would suspend their Examon. The problem is when you suspend that Examon, Omnimon will delete you and you can't evade it because you don't unsuspend until after his when attacking's proc. So you get deleted in the middle of that battle, which is why I never forced the attack. I never tried to leave my Examon suspended. I never tried to suspend it to force an attack. But you want to keep them attacking. You don't want them to build up resources. You don't want them to get all the advantage of those cool boys and those Yuyas, right? So I spit out the Cordramon. I get my draw 2. Goes to his turn. I suspend it. He deletes it with the Omni X, whatever, blah, 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 and so forth. It comes back to me. The second card I drew off that Cordramon was Dexmon. I was like, this is God. This is God incarnate in my hands. The DigiGuards are looking out for me. It just, you don't expect it, right? You never expect decks. Like that's the one thing about this game. You should expect everything at any point in time, but at the same point, you gotta put it on your opponent to have it. So Lychee didn't expect decks. I drew it. It's the first thing that came out of my hand. Boom. Dex for free. Board. Gone. OmniX became Metal Greymon. It's suspended now. Even though he de-digivolved my Examon, it is now a Slayer Dramon, which is why, as y'all noticed, I hard digivolved my Examon twice or 3 times.
Yes, I believe it was twice.
Instead of trying to force a DNA play, because it makes no sense. Why force the DNA and give so much memory? Hard digivolve. I give him only 1 more memory than his memory setter, because he was choking me to 1. I got to put the blocker underneath that I needed in the first place. And now if I get de-digivolved, I still have Slayer, which has a double evade essentially. So that's really good for me. So he de-digivolved my Examon into a Slayer. That's good. Slayer, swing over Metal Great. Boom. Board is done. Board is decimated. Dexmon, Slayer Dramon. Lychee was just like, there's nothing I can do. He had maybe 6 cards left in deck.
Yeah, 3 cool boys and a Yu-Gi-Oh or something.
3 cool boys and a Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah.
Bro, and man, I wanted to go. I was like, man, I can't wait to just have Varni talk about it, because so many people in the comments of that stream were like, why isn't he suspending his Examon? He's not forcing the attack. He's not all the comments. And I wanted to be like, yo, he's not forcing it on purpose. It's not that he's forgetting his his effect on their turn. He's just not purposely not letting it happen. I think Lychee had X antibody on all of his under all of his Digimon. So what, you force the attack and then just get murdered?
I had
People
so
are just
much
not
PTSD, because when Lychee did that, I immediately thought, oh my goodness, he's gonna do what Dan does to me every game.
Yeah.
The moment
that's what I was thinking too.
So the moment he did that, I was like, I can't force him to attack, because here's the problem, guys. Slayer Dramon, he has Metal Greymon with X antibody under. You forced him to attack. You're suspended, okay? Let's get that straight. I want you to remember, you suspend to force the attack. They declare the attack and all of their effects proc first and then your effects. That means that they're gonna swing, use X antibody, go into Black or Gray or Gaiomon or whatever, most likely Gaiomon. They're gonna de-digivolve you mid-attack. So you are now a Wingdramon that's suspended. They're gonna swing over it. You can't evade it because you're not Slayer anymore. You can't unsuspend. And even if you were Slayer, your effect doesn't proc until the end of their effects proccing. So it's just a complete shitty situation to be in as an Examon player, because the thing that you're best at doing, you can't do that. That entire game plan is shut down. They have that is the answer. I mean, that is how you beat Examon. Dan does that shit all the time to me. It's so irritating. I hate the Black or Gray matchup because Dan gives me PTSD about it. But if it wasn't for Dan, I would have never known that. So shout out to Dan.
You're welcome. Yeah, honestly, that's probably from all the way back to EX03, I think it was, when I was playing Black or Greymon on regionals or whatever. That we was doing that. We was doing that play testing for ever. And then when Black or Greymon X came out, when we was testing for Nats, we was doing the X Black or Greymon matchup so many times. So it got to the point that he knew he probably was playing that game, was probably I know exactly what's gonna happen. And now they don't have Greymon X. It's harder for a Greymon player to be able to do what they want to do as fast as they would like to do without that Gray X, So I'm sure at that point, when he knew he was playing Lychee, if he knew he was playing Black or Greymon or not, or at least the moment he hatches the egg, he sees the Koromon, he knows it's Black or Greymon. So I'm sure at that point he's seen the play. Depending, I didn't really watch it fully, but like I said, we was going back and forth with finals and then watching the games. So I would look over and I'm I know exactly what Lychee's doing. And I know exactly what Varni is doing, because I know the matchup so well. So I'm just I think it was game 1. Lychee was breaking on 6s because he was just chilling with a Metal Greymon for a while. I think it was, right. So
that's what it was, right? I like when he didn't even bother going into Gaiomon, like after he built that stack, I was like, does he actually have it, or is he trying to bait?
Yeah, he probably didn't have it.
He probably didn't have it, but it could very well have also been baiting me. Because go ahead.
That's what I did with you. That's exactly what I did as a Black Hole Greymon player. I would just chill out with another Greymon on board. And if I have an Examon, but I'm just waiting for you to bring an Examon out so I could go into a Galmon and like my other Digimon is going to be swinging while I have that one already prepared, ready for it. So it depends. It really depends, but I don't like. There's a chance. I don't remember what game states were. I just remember seeing like, he must not have like a Black or Greymon, because even if you have just Black or Greymon, if you have Examon, you can just still go Galmon or Black or Greymon X. It's just way cheaper, or into an Omni X. So like, it all depends on the situation in the game. But yeah, so I'm sure like all the practice, I was saying before, all the practice, Varni was just prepared for like anything he could have done because he's seen everything that I would have done from it.
Yeah, that match against Lychee was the worst Black or Gray match. I played 3, and that was the worst of them all, because like game 1 had me like, okay, cool, like I got this, but like this is the thing about playing this thing about like when you're at the top tables and you're playing these caliber players. Lychee adapted like this. Like he said, oh, okay, I see. Everything from game 1 out the window. Game 2 was completely different. And if it wasn't for Dexmon game 2, that game was wrapped up in Lychee's favor, most likely. It's so crazy. The difference in caliber of what it means when you play these players at these top tables, and you play one game and then the next game it's light switch, and the entire outcome of the match just changes because they are like, okay, I see your play style, because that's it, right? It's not even just like I see the deck you're playing, I see what your deck does. It's how are you playing and how can I use that against you. He just it was one hell of a match. That's all I'm gonna say there. Before I continue on, let me just get to all the comments on the YouTube side of things. Coach, nice Dorumon win, Varni. Thanks, Dorumon, the Dexmon.
Copium over there, man. I
straight copium, bro.
We've got Brendan, Professor Examon. Onslaught says congratulations, thank you. Ray Ivory says congrats, thank you. Onslaught, question I have: when you get the chance, if you're able to answer, what is one advice that you got that helped you become a better player? Honestly, it's not. I never really have received like advice so much as just it's the constant play testing and the constant play testing. Like through the constant play testing, you see. So first of all, obviously it's the matchups, right? So me against Dan with Black Work Ray helped immensely, but it's also me against every deck that I have ever played against, and knowing what matchups, like for example, something I explained in the video I put out today. When do I drop Break Dramon instead of Slayer Dramon? Because 9 times out of 10, you want to drop Slayer Dramon, because dropping Slayer just gives you a double attack, if nothing else. But there are times you want to drop Break Dramon instead. There are times you don't want to drop either of those. You want to drop a Wing Dramon. You drop Wing Dramon so that you can Digivolve into Slayer Dramon. Slayer Dramon has Evade. There are times you don't even care to drop those because you don't need them. So you drop something else that gives you more advantage, such as the Core Dramon, the security one, that lets me draw 2. Then I can Digivolve up the line anyways, which I did in one game. It's really just like playtesting the shit out of your deck, making sure that you are straight with your deck. That's what these All Force players did at Nationals. I'm sure they were playtesting All Force, like the guy with Lance, I can't remember his name, Cliff. I'm sure he playtested the shit out of All Force with Lance and everybody else at their shop before he went to Nationals. So he knew his deck inside and out, and he placed 7th So it's not even like
day one. Yep.
7th on day one. So that's top 8. That means he dropped like one match, most likely, at most. And that's in a meta. That was a meta full of Black War Grey, the worst matchup for all fours. And he did that, right? So it really is just practice your deck. If you believe in your deck and you know that your deck can stand up to these bigger decks that are supposed to bully you around, practice your deck. Get your stuff honed so that when you go face these decks, it gives you the best possible chance of knowing what they're gonna do. Lychee, for example, he could have he was playing BT10 Omni X, and he told me that he was looking for it, but it was in security. The only thing that I can do as Examon, if he has that, it's GG, no shot. I can't do anything about that, but I have to put it on him to have that. I can't say, well, he has it, so I'm not going to do it. I have to say, well, he might have it. I don't have anything better to do. I have to do this.
Yeah, play to your outs. Always play to your outs.
Always.
You know, like if it's coming down and you're like, this is a risky play, but play it out. You never know.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I mean, look at in the grandest game, right? That grandest game, you had what was it? He had no security left, but all he needed to do was get into another grandest, and it would have been GG for you. You would have died.
Yeah.
I think you got Grandel sold twice in that game. You got Grandel sold twice in that game, right? So I think everyone was probably thinking, oh, it's a wrap for the Examon player. He just has to raise and go into the grandest. He didn't have the grandest. Imagine if Varni had scooped right there or just given up.
Yeah.
And the next turn, all he had to do was raise from his breeding and swing for game because there was no blocker on the field. There was nothing. You know, always play to your outs.
Yeah, it's always play to your outs. Always finish your games. All right, like if you're playing in an official tournament, always finish your games. You know, a lot of people. I was playing in my 7th match against Beelzemon, and there was something I was asking for clarification on, just because if I got the next turn, that would have helped me out. And people thought that like I was wasting time. Listen, I hate wasting time. Okay, I went 9-0. Okay, I finished all my matches before time. I never wanted to go to time. I hate time. I hate ties. I was not trying to waste time. I just wanted to know if he actually had to mill, because if he did and he hit something like Mega Death, or I don't know, I can't remember what else he could have hit in security, but if there was something beneficial to me in security that would have turned the game in my favor, I just wanted to know that I could have locked up game on that mill next turn. But turns out it wasn't the case. But always finish your games. No problem, Onslaught, anytime. If you're not, I'm gonna plug it right now. If you're not part of the Discord, go join the Discord. I will send a link over in just a sec. A lot of great people here. You can ask questions anytime. We have a lot of great players. They're always playing. They're always looking for people. I've got deck profiles sitting here. Like, just join up, ask questions anytime, man. Let's hop over to Twitch chat. Good, Mike. Good.
But I feel like in not only playtesting a whole lot, but playtesting against people who are, you know, as good as you or better than you. You know, when us three playtest, there will be days where I'll just get smacked by one of you guys, like game after game after game. Like it'll go like 3 games in a row, I'll get smacked. We'll hop back on the next day. It'll be like 3 games in a row, I'll win. Like, play with people who are as good or better than you so that you can keep learning and getting better too. You know, like if you're just winning every single game all the time, you're not gonna get better. You know, if you're just never taking an L, never, you know what I mean? Like, what does that do for you? Play against people. Yeah. So literally, you know, just play with people who are as good as you at the game or better than you at the game. Play a variety of different decks. You know, learn different decks. Learn how the thought process behind how a deck works. If I play against Dan, there will be times I'm playing a deck and he's played it before too, and he'll literally be like, all right, so if you have this combo in your hand, like, and I'll be like, I'll smirk because he knows because I've got it and he knows it. Like, so like I'll go full combo on him and I'll be like, okay, yeah, all right, you know, whatever, move on. But you know, learn the decks.
Sometimes I'll do that because I know how it goes, just so I can purposely have the out because I know it's gonna come. So it's like, all right, I'm already prepared for it. But like that's also backing off what he says, right? That's why you have to learn. If you try and beat in a more competitive environment, right? You try and win regionals, you try and top regionals, you have to learn those other decks. It's great to learn your one deck you try and play, but you have to understand other decks. So I'm not saying you have to like live and breathe those other decks, but like play them, understand why and how they work, understand like their combos, understand what their weaknesses are, because sometimes like you could play against the decks a lot, but sometimes you just don't get the full concept of the deck until you play it yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think it's really good to understand, you know, and play those different decks for that reason. And also, it helps playing a deck that's been around since, you know, a long time now. And EX03, that's been what EX03 came out last November.
Old.
So, I mean, ain't old, right? Because, you know, it's not that long ago, but like, it helps that he's been playing and he's been trying to perfect the deck for this long. And we're at the point where he did to his standards of what he likes. And it's, the results show. But he's also been, you know, he's play testing other decks. He's also trying other decks at the same time. He's playing in like our locals at least. Like I said, like he said, this was his first like official big tournament. He's playing those other decks and he's understanding how those other decks work and stuff. So at this point, he knows, hey, Examon, I know what I need to do against Beelzemon. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Crossfire, I know what I need to do with I know how to beat it with oh my god, Examon. I was about to say Cross again. I was about to say Cross because Cross just keeps popping in my head. But you know what I'm saying? That's why he was running Madoki Betamons, right? To stop the like the Merva Cross decks that go pop off with Blinding Rays and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? These are all the things he's incorporating in his deck to make it to the point where he felt like it was viable for regionals, and again, the results shows.
Yo, big shout out to our boy Lychee King over in YouTube chat.
Hey,
that is our second place.
The GOAT.
That is who I beat in the finals yesterday. Lychee, you are an absolute inspiration, my guy. I just want to say that. You know, if y'all want to go look at somebody, look at Lychee. Lychee is somebody who took exactly what we just said and was doing that a year ago. Even more than a year ago, like since he started the game, because he said, I'm gonna take Omnimon Zwart Defeat and I'm gonna make a deck based around this card. And what deck did he make? He made Zwart Defeat Turbo, which he ended up winning a region. Was it regionals, wasn't it? Or was it an ultimate or Evo Cup at the time?
It was one of those two he won.
Something. Lychee won some big event with Zwart Defeat Turbo, pushing so many people to try to play this deck, and nobody replicated the success he had with this deck. Like, it was a deck list that was very personal to Lychee, something that he practiced with, he loved, and he did. Regionals, he says. It was a regionals he took it to. It was a deck that he honed and is something that was very personal to him, and he came back a year later and he does it with promo Black War Greymon before Black War Grey got BTA.
Oh, that was the same technically like year. Like that was the same.
Was it the same year?
Tournament year.
Same tournament.
Yeah,
same tournament. It was the same tournament season. But we got BTA after Nationals dropped essentially, and he took promo Black War Grey to somewhere in the top 16.
14th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 14 players. I think it was
with that. And it just shows that, like, yo, if you like your deck, if you believe in your deck, and you put the work in for your deck, you know how it plays into these other decks. You got it, Chief. That's all it boils down to.
Big facts.
Big facts. So,
yep.
Let's catch up on Twitch real quick. Let's see, what do we got here? So, Greg asked, how did the Ultimate Cup nerf multicolors? I know Leppy already answered, but basically they restricted it so that you could only play a single color in your deck. If your card was 2 colors, it had to be your primary color. Like if it was purple, yellow, your deck would either have to be purple or it'd have to be yellow. You can't have like Ange Woman, for example, and Ignite on. Are we getting a deck profile? Yes, Greg. Go check out the YouTube, which I'll plug in just a second here. Greg is part of the Discord, but yes, he just doesn't check it.
Yo, what a scrub, man.
What a nerd.
Jesus.
What a nerd.
Hey, anybody on Twitch, don't be like Greg, be better.
Yeah, be better. We're gonna bully Greg now.
Captain Soapy says, that's what I love about the Digimon TCG at the moment. Let me just post this here. There we go. Okay. That's what I love about the Digimon TCG at the moment. Sure, some matchups don't feel good at all, but the majority of the time, I feel like you can figure out a strategy out of some sticky situations. Agreed, though. Literally just playing the game is so much help. I keep inviting my friend over and we just bump heads over and over until we figure out the best strats for the meta. And it turns into an evening of having a great time with friends. That's what fun for me is in this game.
Yes, sir.
And hey, listen.
Definitely, yeah.
These three guys sitting right here, we're competitive motherfuckers. All right, let's get that straight. We're competitive.
These three, you mean these other two?
These three. This trifecta.
Yeah, these three
that they see on the screen.
The way he said it, I was like confused. I was like, wait, what?
Is there someone behind me? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Did Darian like popped up somewhere or something? Like, I don't understand. Mark,
yeah, right, bro,
where's Mark at? Like,
we're all competitive and like we settle for nothing less. Like we always hold ourselves to the highest standards. My goal yesterday, obviously, is always to win. No shot. Like it was to win. Realistically, my goal was to make top 16. My goal was to qualify for a nationals invite. When I ended up in round 7 and I was on stream undefeated, I was like, did I get here? No clue.
Bro, I thought you scrubbed out, bro. I thought you scrubbed out.
Because
you said you said I'm 2-0, and I said, oh, okay. So I waited a few hours. I said, yo, Varni, like that was weird. I said yo Varney, but I didn't mean to say like yo Varney. Whatever. I was like, what's your record right now? And you said I don't want to talk about it. And I was like, oh, he's scrubbed out. I'm gonna leave him alone.
I thought so too.
And then he hits us up later. He goes, I'm in the finals on Eggman stream. I was like, what is happening, bro?
That ass.
I don't know what it is. I feel like anytime I stream or I let people know and I get like hyped up and we're like, oh, look, he's 3-0. I feel like I scrub out. Like, I feel like the 4th round is my downturn and I lose. And then I have a really shit streak after that. So yesterday I kept my mouth shut. I was like, listen, I'm not saying anything to anybody. I'm going to take every match as it comes. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I won the first 2. Dan asked what was my record. I said 2-0. I didn't even want to say that. It felt disgusting, but I was like, he asked, I'm going to answer him. I didn't say shit after that. I was like, I'm keeping it to myself. Bro, when I was 6-0, I was looking at myself and I was like, I haven't lost yet. What? I have a chance to qualify top 16. So that's why I pinged the group chat. I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. Look at where I am. And then, round 7, I win against Beelzemon. Round 8, I win against Grandis. And then I end up against Lychee in round 9. And I'm like, I didn't even give myself a chance to think about it, right? I didn't even think about it. I was round 7, I was thinking about it. Round 8, I was like, I hope this is the last match, but Lychee won his pair down. So I knew there was going to be a round 9, no matter who between us won, unless we tied, which I really wasn't aiming for. And so, when round 9 was going to start, I pushed it out of my mind. I didn't even want to think about it. I didn't want to get in my head about it. I didn't want to be like, oh my goodness, like what's going to happen? Like, could I win? I could go all the way. Nothing. I wanted my mind blank. I didn't want anything to distract me. I just wanted to focus on the game and get the game done. And if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. And it fucking works. That's why I didn't say anything. That's why when you asked, I was like, don't ask about it. I don't want to talk about it. If I don't talk about it, it's not a thing.
Yeah, I was like, I scrubbed that, man. I was like, what a loser.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought you did too when you said that. I was like, oh well.
I be getting the same way though sometimes. Like, I remember when I first started playing Digimon, like even going to locals, and I would always just be like trying to get over like a game, like just like one game so that I could actually like win a locals. Because like when I first started, I was like, learning everything, and I was like, oh man, I just feel like I lose like this one game every time no matter what. And eventually I just stopped thinking about it, and then that's when I started winning locals a lot. I was like, oh, I guess it just helps if you just I don't know.
It's like
I understand exactly what you're saying.
You're in a zone we used to call it, when I played basketball, right? I mean, that's still a thing. You just like kind of ignore everything that's outside. You just like tunnel vision. And like, for
Yeah, when
example,
you used to play basketball
all you
50 years ago.
Yeah, right. All you see is like the hoop and like nobody matters. It's the same concept. I'm sure that's what he was doing. He was just trying to keep it tunnel visioned, and it worked out for him.
Let's wrap up on Twitch chat here real quick. Leppy's going to bed, so good night, Leppy. One of the last things Leppy said was,
Peace.
bro, Sun Tzu said, if you know your deck but not your opponent, you will only have a 50% chance of winning. But if you know your deck and your opponent, you will win all the times. Sun Tzu.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, I read that actually in the Art of War. So I believe that. That was
Back
there.
over to YouTube chat. Lychee says, I def saw them during the match. You had the matchup knowledge with Examon. Shout out to Dan for that. Yeah, that matchup.
I'm sorry, Lychee. I set you up for failure. From all the Black War Greymon Exa matchups we did, for my own personal gain, ended up being his personal gain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For this regional run.
Yeah, that's like probably the match I played the most. Grandis was the match I played the least, and it almost bit me in the ass. I thought it,
but I mean,
good.
Grandis is like probably one of the few decks in the game of Digimon where you're like, you don't need to play consistently. You need to see it once and you know exactly what the F it does.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, you try and build a stat, blah blah, and then Grand Kawaguma, go to Grandis. Before that, Digiburst everything, and then swing, suspend, swing, blah blah blah. Like once you see one Grandis play, once you see one Grandis play, you see all Grandis players. It's not like no disrespect to anybody who done well with it, but it's not like it's a deck where it's like Examon, for example. I see some bad Examon players,
bro. Because people don't even know. Yeah, well, people don't even know the rulings for Examon are so complicated, and that's where people fall on their face with it all the time. I screw up rulings with Examon. It's just
So like that's what I'm saying. So it's like you don't really need per se practice. You just need to know like how you get your out to it, and then really that's it. And just hope to God they don't have like 3 Grand Souls in security.
Oh my
goodness.
I was so afraid. I was so afraid that he was a Mario type player and he was playing 4 Grandel Soul. I was like, if he's playing 4 Grandel Soul, I'm screwed. Like, there's no way I see my way out of this because that means he has 2 in hand. I hit 1 in security. Like, but luckily, I think he only played like 2. I haven't looked at his list, but Lychee says for sure goal always is to win. That's why we had a round 9. Could have ended it with flopping down the pair down, but looking to play competitive, you go for the W. Amen. Facts.
Hell no,
I would never intentionally lose. It would be such a disgrace to myself if I was like I don't want to play anymore. Meanwhile, I'm fucking 8-0. Like what? No, I'm not gonna fucking lose. No, I want those dubs. Oh, hell, take all of them. So I agree with you there.
So I 99.9% agree, and I normally would until I did it Saturday. Just because like I was 0-2 and I just didn't care.
You were
at that point.
0-2 though. You weren't 8-0.
Yeah. Exactly. I was 8-0. If I was 8-0, I would never
ask anybody to intentionally lose their pair down.
Oh, I didn't. They didn't know I intentionally lost. I made it. See, I played it pretty good. I played a pretty good poker hand. I was like, oh, you got it, bro. Meanwhile, I have 3 decks in hand. like it was just because like I didn't feel like those first 2 rounds for me was like so like bricky and bad for me. I was like, when the 3rd round came and it was like I had decent plays. I was very annoyed with it, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm gonna make top 16 at this point. So I was like, I'll take my participation and enjoy my day, which ended up being a great night out and stuff.
Yeah, but that's different. It's like that's understandable.
Yeah.
Ray Ivory says, and who said you were going undefeated? That guy right there. I said at the beginning of the day, I saw Radioactive in he was like 6 tables away from me.
Top table.
So I sent him this. I sent the screenshot to the Discord. I was like, yo, let's get it. Let's dominate these top tables. Little did I fucking know. Oh man, yeah. Another thing I have to say is, I like Digimon a lot. Digimon is very personal. every list
Nerd.
Shut up, Mike. Let him speak.
every list. I mean, you look at like obviously like the grandest list. Like what changes? Maybe they run an extra Mimi. Maybe they run an extra hybrid. Little things here and there. My Examon list, honestly, it was a run-of-the-mill standard Examon list. It's got 4 Examon. It's got all the Examon pieces. The only thing I had that was different was Kaiser Nail. And I'm not saying that, I had Kaiser Nail, that's why I won. No. It's personal in that like Dan has said, like I've played the deck for so long and I got to a point where, okay, like I said in my deck profile, like the 2 Megadeth. First of all, I hated Megadeth prior to that tournament. Those 2 Megadeth were my flex spots. I could have played anything.
I can confirm this.
I could have played anything in those spots. I could have played another Breakdramon, Imperial. I could have played Merciful Mode, another Dex. So much shit. I decided on Megadeth because I was like, I think I need removal in the event that I can't do something. Like I feel like I need removal. And I went through 6 rounds of Digimon hating having Megadeth because it never helped me. It was always in my hand. It was so subpar. Also because I dominated every match with Examon, essentially. It wasn't until I came to round 7 against Beelzemon, where I had double Megadeth in security because the DigiGods graced me with their goodness, that I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, thank God for Megadeth. Round 8 against Grandis, and I was like, thank God for Megadeth. And round 9 against Black or Gray, that I was like, thank God for Megadeth. Like, it.
Bro, I remember
But that was
arguing with you about Megadeth.
That was still personal choices, because you had, like, for example, the 3 Modoki Betamons, right?
Yeah.
You had only, what was it, 10 champions, I think it is, right? Or something like that. I don't remember what the list was.
Yeah, 10
but
champions.
Like, for example, you only ran the 2 evade Corjamons instead. Like, usually a lot of people will go like 4-4, like 3 minimum, and then maybe the 2 security. You went with the 4 security Corjamon. Like, you had a lot of personal touches in your deck list, and even though it was run the middle, but like obviously the same cards, but your ratios were different because you felt certain cards were better for you than someone else would. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
The decks. I rarely see decks played in any other Examon list. You know what I'm saying? What else you have? I forget. The 2 blue memory boost.
1. I hate that card.
1. Okay. Yeah, I know. And I think you dropped the starter deck Dracomon to lower number.
He hates that card.
Also hit.
I know.
That card with a passion.
But like
that card.
but people like, even though you hate it, and most people who knows that it sucks in the sense that you can't pick up Examon, they still will run like 4-4-4 or whatever, you know, of all the Dracomons, because the name's Dracomon, you know what I'm saying? So like, again, it's still personal touches to you for your liking anyways. I think at one point, I think it was good that you went to like a more like, you know, standard in a sense, because before I think you was trying too much with the deck. You had an Arrow Vegemon at one point.
That's what I'm talking about with the flex spot shit. That was when I was running like
Takumi.
10 rookies. So I effectively had 4 flex spots. And I was like, what the hell do I play in these spots?
You had like Takumis in there. You had the Imperial Jamon. And all these cards are good for the deck. But like at the end of the day, you're trying to do what Examon needs to do as fast as possible. And sometimes those cards don't really necessarily help in that sense. They're just kind of like cool tech cards that sometimes work and sometimes doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can say with the utmost certainty that if I had seen Imperial anytime throughout the day in my last 3 matches, I probably would have KMS'd.
Yeah, that would have sucked. Varni, what do we say to people who only run 3 Examon?
Who won a regional with 4 Examon? This guy. What's the right way to play the deck? 4 Examon. Go buy
4
your
Examon. All right.
Well, maybe don't buy them, but 4 Examon.
I think they actually, unless the hype is that crazy, I think that they're not that bad. I think
No, it's still like $30.
Yeah, the
Okay.
ults were like 30 some earlier today. But yeah, I shouted out the Digimon TCG 2020 Discord in my video. I have brainstormed the shit out of Examon since inception. I've had many iterations of the deck, as have many people there, and there were some people there playing 3. And I'm not shitting on anybody, right? Like I said, deck lists are personal. Do what you want. However, I have seen people play 3 Examon. I want to say this. Grandis, I went through all 4 Examon. He bottom decked 2. 1 was insecurity, and I was on my last one. Lychee Digivolved 2 of them, I think. 1 or 2, and I was on my second or third and another one not in sight. Like, I needed 4 Examon. I needed to be able to know that I had, because that's the thing, right? Like, Examon isn't just, there's a reason I hard digivolved into it. You don't need to necessarily pull off the DNA to get the most advantage. Hard digivolving still gives you a 15k body that on suspends something. And that's the most important part. Being able to, like, essentially, that also, and against Digivolve, having the redundancy of, okay, you regressed into Slayer. Okay, nice. Instead of, damn, I regressed into Wingdramon. Now I have to find another Slayer. I can replace Examon in a way that's easier than replacing my Slayer Dramon. Just because when I'm at Wingdramon, it means I need to drop another level 5 to DNA into Examon, or alternatively, I need to go up into another Slayer. Slayer is a hot commodity for some reason. Finding Slayer was so hard. It was harder than finding Examon, to be totally honest. Like, if I could have found Slayer in some matches earlier than I did, I would have been solid. But it just didn't happen. So, it's just like, I would never. When BT13 comes, I'm playing 5 Examon. I'm gonna play 5 Examon, and if Dexmon still needs to be in the deck, I will play 5 Examon and Dexmon straight up. So, you know, we look forward to we look forward to BT13. Excuse me.
Speaking of that Examon BT13 version, who was it? Russ Morrow? He didn't even have the BT13 Examon in his deck.
I know. I was like, damn. I need to see.
That deck was literally like
it was usual Examon, yeah, exactly. Which I can't wait for the promo Dracomon. Promo Dracomon is gonna help that deck out a ton.
Yeah, that card's sweet.
It's kind of crazy. So I really can't wait to experiment with that. I might replace the Mem Boost with the new training cards that we get. Because
that might be pretty good.
I think I prefer the reduction of the Digi cost, of the Digi Evolution cost, and also only having to dig 2 deep instead of 4 deep, just because I run so much multicolor. I mean, I played a blue memory boost. I saw 3 green pieces and 1 blue piece. I was like,
yeah.
So
that and the training card is sweet because you can grab any like blue card. You can grab a tamer. Exactly. You can grab an option. You could grab your Kaiser Nail. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can go crazy with that. So I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna put the training cards in. The promo Dracomons are definitely going in. This coming set, I don't know how I'm gonna modify the deck for BT12. But since we're finally getting the security rookies, I'm gonna take out all of that shit Dracomon and my Mitokis, and I'm gonna play all those Bulukomons because such a, draw power is king.
We'll test it.
I might not play any
especially
tamers.
in a deck like that.
I might cut Davis.
I think at least a 1 Davis.
I might play one Davis.
You're grabbing 2 cards.
No. I might play 1 Davis because if I'm gonna see a shit ton of hunters, I'm not trying to. I don't mind them putting my shit under another Slayer Dramon. I just don't want them putting my shit under my Davis. I can't do anything with that.
No, that's true. That's why I say you still should at least play 1 Davis.
Probably 1, and then I'll just play 4-man boost and just say fuck it. I'll play 4 of the card I hate.
And at that point, if you see into a hunter, then you just don't drop the Davis probably.
Well, sometimes you
really
can't help it if it comes out of security.
Yeah. Speaking of hunters, that's like, I mean, I'm playing that deck right now. That's like the new solitaire deck. That deck's crazy. It's like a very like
I don't know about solitaire. I wouldn't say it's a solitaire.
Bro, it's very much like, all right, the setup's there. All right, we're done now. That deck is like tamer, draw. You're done.
Yeah, it is.
I honestly like I haven't seen much Hunter's gameplay, and I don't know it's because like Cross has been a deck that's been built for the last 3 formats. So like I've just seen
it's so much different,
right? It's so much different because I know it
so
digivolves instead of just hard playing stuff, but you reduce Digievolution cost. So instead of reducing play cost, you reduce Digievolution cost. So it's like I need to see, like, we definitely need to play because I need to see this deck.
We'll play test.
I need to see how I'm gonna get screwed by freaking Arrestor Dramon, and how I'm gonna be like, damn it, he can attack end of turn. Like,
it's crazy. It's pretty crazy.
And also while it's suspended too.
Also while suspended, yes.
It's just it's been nice for me because a lot of like I've been playing so much just jank the last I don't even know how many sets, and it's really frustrating like playing. I mean, I do it to myself. I have meta decks built. I just am an idiot, so I keep playing jank, and it's been like, oh damn, I can't get over this thing because it has like triple protection. Then you just play Arrestor Dramon, and you're like, I can get over anything. I'm invincible. I am God. Like, it's crazy. Like, just being able to be like, all right, I'm tucking this thing away. Goodbye. Get away from me. I don't even want to see you anymore.
Brendan says the deck does a lot out of nowhere. Lots of memory manipulation, and tucking Digimon under others is insane.
Yeah, that's why I said it's all set up. It's literally just set up because you draw so much, and it's just nuts because everything in that deck basically just draws you one. Like, you tuck one, you draw one, you tuck one, you draw one. So like, it's just all set up, and then when you're ready to go, you just launch it.
Yeah. It was
Should be interesting.
It's
But if your Varni doesn't have a tamer on board, they can't do anything about the Examon.
That's what I'm saying. If I just have Examon.
Yeah, if you just leave the Examon, yeah.
And there's because that's another thing.
Until you hit the security and the Cordramon pops out.
It would happen.
No, but what are y'all talking about? Superior mode doesn't tuck under other Digimon. It's only under their tamer.
No, doesn't it tuck under? Don't you get the choice
No,
to tuck?
it's only a tamer.
Which one tucks under Digimon then?
You're thinking of what's
Wait,
that
hold on,
card?
let me reread this. Hold up.
But no, he
Oh, it is other Digimon as
it's other Digimon. It's other Digimon tamer.
Cool.
I don't know
That's
what
you're
confused.
I was
you're
like
thinking of.
No, I had it looked. I have it looked up, and I just misread it. I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Is that what does Bagramon only tuck under a tamer?
Under Digimon.
Tucks only under
Digimon.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah. Arrestor Dramon does both. He's just better Bagramon.
Yeah, 100% for cheaper.
Hunters is so powerful, especially if they have
and gets to attack at end of a turn. It's crazy.
Yeah. Couldn't beat good old Beelzemon though. Beelzemon's gonna be.
I mean, it can. Don't act like it can't. Stop that.
It can definitely beat it. It's just Beelzemon's a really good deck. I forget who I was listening to, but Beelzemon's a deck that's really strong, so it has a really low like entry point. Like, it has a high floor and a really high ceiling. I forget who I was watching that said that.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
but like that's Beelzemon. Like,
the thing is now Beelzemon now has become a deck where you don't really need like no offense, but you don't need high roll, or you don't need like skill, not like high skill. You have to have high skill to like play in the higher tables, but like anyone could just be like, all right, I'll digivolve mill 3, get FX, mill 3 again, get FX, mill 3, get to the point where you need the 20 trash, and then you just take an Ivmon, put an X and Y, digivolve to Beelzemon, effect, blah blah blah, go into Beelzemon X, swing trash, swing game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's crazy hard. It's just what the skill comes in is when you do certain card effects. You know what I'm saying? But like to get to the point how the win con happens is a lot easier now.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the skill is now it's like before everyone was like, oh, you have to high roll with this deck to do really well or whatever. The skill gap now is that people don't even realize. Not even when do you not deck out, it's making a play out of nothing, right? Like someone like Mark, you know, like someone like Mark, like when he played, like if he plays a deck like that, you'll see like, I think I can win from here. Like, I've set up this board and I think that I have a good control of the situation. And then a player like Mark will be like, all right, mill this, and now somehow I have this ridiculous out that that no one else would ever think of. Like that's the difference between like a really high ceiling and like like people.
He did that to me like for like the when we were doing the purple cup. Basically, he was like, I was like, I don't know how you gonna get around 3 blockers. I had like the Merva blah blah. And he had like I put him down to like I think 1 or 2 memory. He had like 1 Inmon. He was like, all right, cool. He purposely milled something, and then was like Jack Ray because now he ended up getting like 3 or 2 memory per. I forget what it was, and then he was like Deathslinger. I was like, got it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
It's just shit like that can happen with that type of deck.
Lychee says he promises that he's gonna top with Darkness Bagramon with all these hunters gonna be running wild.
Dude, go! I respect it. Do it up.
Hey, yo,
if there's a person that can do it,
show it off, man. Show it off.
It's in a binder all nice and
soft.
But I pulled the silver, black, and white Darkness Bagramon. So
it looks spicy.
I hope you do too.
It looks sweet from that photo.
That card is beautiful in person.
I feel the same way. I think I was watching something Mario did. I think it was a Market Lost, and he was like, the X7, like the new X7 Secret Rare. He's like, this card's not good. It's not gonna be competitive. I was like, that's it. I'm topping with it. I was like, that's it. I was like, I'm topping with it now.
Cross 7
busted.
That card's crazy.
That's cracked.
I'm really interested to see how this meta plays out for us over here in America. Because like I personally don't necessarily care to play Cross Hearts. I've never been. It's not that I hate the deck. It's not my playstyle. But I'm pulling a mic here. It's dropping down into rogue territory, air quote. So now I'm like, all right, I might be inclined to pick it up.
I'll be honest, but I don't know what all these people that are making tier lists. I think people are. I don't know why, but like in America, like people just get like this like new deck bias and like have like the like worst memory ever. Like they're like, oh, this new set came out and this deck went completely untouched, but because it's not brand new anymore, it's not good. Like people are ridiculous. Cross is, in my opinion, I think it's still really high tier, really competitive. Like, I think people are going to end up with like a blue hybrid thing again, where they're like, oh, like BT7's gone. We don't have to worry about blue hybrid anymore. Surprise.
I mean, that's like Melga, right? BT11 happened. Like there was no Melga. Greymon X got hit. Hey, what happened? Melga became relevant. Melga's a deck that can, even in BT12, can still just smack someone up real quick and take a tournament.
I mean, it did. It did on Saturday. 9-0.
Exactly.
We're definitely interested to see what happens with this meta for sure, though, because everyone is predicting that like Beelzemon's going to be running rampant, but I don't know.
It's a good deck. I can say that it's going to win a lot.
Yeah, I think it's going to win a lot, especially with how the Greymon X with the Greymon X hit. It's going to be such a top. I think it's best deck in the format probably, with Hunters being right there next to it.
So quick thing. Lychee says the only way to win with Cross 7 Superior is to Final Crossblade for game. I just read Final Crossblade. Yo, that's
that card's crazy, bro.
That card's crazy.
Definitely.
Holy hell.
That card's cool. I actually just put that version together like last night before I left for California. I was like, this is spicy.
Bro, that's especially if you have like if you have Omni Shout, like
it's, I mean, like realistically, I don't know if I'll.
And then
if it's like the best option.
Yo, Blue Flick could do some like chinky shit and like put it underneath a your Digimon, and then you just Kaiser nail it out.
Yeah.
Yo, it's so stupid.
It's native.
I forget how you could do it. I forget how you do it, how you do the combo for it, but I saw it on like YouTube, like some Japan game. And they like tucked it underneath a blue source or something. And then they were like, Kaiser Nail brought it out for free. I was like, bro, how? I was like, yo, this is crack.
Honestly, I'm for myself, like, I don't really know what I'm going to focus on playing next set. Lychee, or not Lychee, sorry. Leppy said this earlier. He said he was inspired to play Shine to a higher level and win with it. And, I think that's going to be like another deck. Like, obviously, Shine is nowhere near what it's about to become in the 2 sets that follows. But I wouldn't be
BT13
surprised
Shine.
if we see Shine in some variation top. Like, not that it, Mario.
I mean, I think it'll make you will see a random top 16.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see like a top 8.
I mean, you never know.
That's gonna be.
Shit's
I mean,
wild.
I think any deck could really top. I mean, if you think about it,
yeah.
a lot of playing in a big tournament though is luck against matchups. Like if it just gets if you just get a really good matchups that day, like you could go
I was
pretty far.
One person I was playing against, I can't remember, but they were talking about how they were playing a certain deck because they expected to see some deck and they just didn't. This was like their third Examon of the day, and I was like, that's some shit luck because obviously Examon's not big numbers, but
that's unfortunate. But like, yeah, Varni didn't see a single U-Force, and that's a deck that can hinder Examon.
Hell yeah. They don't stop getting bounced.
I also didn't see Melga, and as confident as I am in the Melga matchup, I thank the good Lord that I did not see any Metal Garurumon.
If they see everything before you even could get sniff an Examon on board or even a Slayer on
exactly.
board, it's GG almost. Yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah, I said it in the video. Like, Digimon is. I mean, every card game is luck based game. Let's get that straight. Every card game
100%.
inherently has some luck built into it. It's built in by way of the shuffling and the draw and the mulligan and this, that, and the other. Digimon especially has it because of the way it works. It's not like, oh, like I'm swinging for your life points. Like, no, I'm swinging at your security. So I am risking my stuff to go against your stuff. And so, my 9 matches, 3 Black or Gray, 3 Beelzemon, the Grandest, the Cross, and something else. I'm blanking out. I can't remember. Oh, Jesmon, that's what it was. I could have faced double Melga, 4 Merva Cross, 2 Examon mirrors, like 470 players. The amount of matchups that you could have are absolutely insane.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, every tournament run, that's why the people who top consistently, they're just good players, but they're also playing good decks that will top consistently. For example, like Blue Hybrid, Melga. Melga's worst matchup is Sekon, and Melga can win against Sekon. Black War.
I would have said Black or Greymon X prior to him.
Yeah,
now it's probably
exactly. And without Black War Grey X, there's much more Melga. Sekon is another example. I mean, sometimes you see some topping Sekon, sometimes you don't, and that's because that deck is RNG.RNG. Like, if your security ain't good and your opponent does outsmarts your RNG, then GG. Like, there's a lot of luck built into the game, and honestly, sometimes a tournament run just comes down to, damn, like, not only did I get lucky in my matchups, but another thing, and this is what I say about like the Australia regionals, the decks that top there, and also let's talk about sports real quick. Football, the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl last year. They went something like 14-3 in their entire run.
With that cupcake ass schedule,
you win the matches that are put in front of you. Am I right or am I right? You win the matches you are given, and that's how you get to where you are.
Sure.
Are you?
100%.
Yep.
So
sure, buddy.
I mean, y'all can say what you want, but I didn't see y'all team in the Super Bowl. No words, right? That's what I thought.
I just can't say anything
because your quarterback was like damn near contemplating retirement.
He wasn't contemplating retirement. He had to discuss it with his family, and he decided that he wanted to continue playing football, and he wanted his son to watch him. All right, put some respect on Tua Tagovailoa's name, okay, buddy? I will die for that, man.
Don't make us start a sports podcast, Mike. We don't need to start a sports podcast between the three of us.
That's my second favorite thing we talked about besides Digimon.
That's the problem. We can't have that between basketball with what the Sixers are going through right now and freaking
off topic. I said it in chat, bro. Jimmy Butler dropped 56 today.
Jimmy Butler.
Wait, what? I was about to say that to y'all, but like I was trying to not interrupt about.
I know.
I'm watching it. I'm watching it right now, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
I was watching on my phone. I was watching on my phone too.
Yo, this man Jimmy Butler made the ill comeback just by himself against the Bucks. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Crazy.
As a Sixers fan, we're not making this a sports podcast, but I just want to say, like, I love Jimmy Butler. I hated seeing him go. I hated that they didn't want to pay the man. And I also hated bitch ass Ben Simmons.
Yeah, imagine he would have actually kept Jimmy Butler over bum ass Ben Simmons
and Butler in
y'all
the
backcourt.
Crazy.
But I mean,
all right, back to Digimon.
We don't need a sports podcast. You win the matches that are put in front of you, and that's how you make it out on top. Like, you know, you have as equal, like you start the day with as equal a chance to top as everybody else, and as long as you keep winning the matches in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's 0-0, right?
If you're playing poop,
if I'm playing like six color
Eosmon.
Yeah,
that's your fault if you do that.
Do I have the same chance to top as everyone else?
You did. You did start the day with the same chance.
Hey, you started the same record, 0-0, baby.
You could have gotten paired against the bye. You could have gotten paired against another shit.
Could you imagine you get like a bye and then you get like someone drops right in the middle of you playing that? Like you just like somehow you just take the worst deck ever created to like a top 16 finish by like sheer luck. Like just absolute, like you're playing, like you're not even playing Digimon, you're just playing 50 tamers, and somehow you've just won the
game. just play 50 cards, 50 card ADR01 searcher. Just keep playing them. Just keep playing them. No, that one can't attack
because
players, right?
That's a win. Yeah, that's a
no. You can't.
You can't attack players. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you can't do that, bro. That's a win con. You got to win without the win con.
That's why I said you got to make the deck 25 EOS, 25 searchers, man. You're always gonna have draw, and you're always gonna drop EOS hunts. Yo.
Nah.
Wow.
What I was saying.
50 Vemon.
I mean,
you just don't do nothing with that type of deck, though.
It works. But
nah, not for that one.
You don't do anything. Like it's just not worth it. Yeah, exactly.
50 Vemon.
I mean, maybe you could just
that one.
You could forego what's it called, Snatchmon, and you could just play like two Galactamon. Your 4 Snatchmon, your 4 Fusion Eyes, and the rest of Memon.
What was I joking about?
Get rid of Destromon.
Yeah.
Oh, I was joking with Dan, and I was like, "What if I'm just gonna hard play like Darkness Baggermon and not cross it?" Oh my god,
yeah,
hard play for 16, because it doesn't need to cross to get its on play effect. So you could just hard play it for 16 if you want.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong. I don't know why you ever would do it, but you fucking can.
I mean,
hey, imagine someone wins because of that. Yo, you just never know.
The spicy Darkness Baggermon tech.
Remember back during the Mario tournament when I dropped like Jesmon or something for like 11 because I had nothing else in hand.
Yeah, you hard played.
And I somehow, it was against Gobblebond and I still won the match.
Yeah, it was Gobblebond. Yeah. It be like that sometimes, you know?
Like, that was wild. You can't do that anymore, though. Like, there are too many decks that abuse you for doing that. I saw somebody.
Yeah, I tried doing something similar like that back in BT6. I hard dropped an Agubond. It didn't really work too well.
Well, that's because you were playing Agubond, not Gobblebond. You were playing red.
No, but I remember back then, and I was like, man, you know, sometimes you can get away with it playing against Gobblebond because like they didn't know what to do with like a shit ton of memory because that deck is like memory efficient as hell. And when you gave it like 6+, it was like it like didn't know what to do.
That was back when you could give a deck 6 memory and not just automatically
That was
lose.
still the days of like Legacy. You just drop Magna Angemon for 7. Okay, you want a Gobblebon, bounce it back to my hand? Thanks. You're probably gonna hit Wyverns in security. Die, bitch. Like
Yeah, fair. I do love this game, but damn, sometimes it really is like, damn, if I give them 4 memory, 5 memory, I'm just dead.
bro, like especially like against Cross, like in my Cross matchup, like I did my best not to give this. I never forced the Examon play by giving him like 5+ memory, because that's wrong. Because you just enable the easy Merva. They'll just Gravity Crush once and get into easy Merva. Like you want them to waste their hand of Gravity Crushes to drop their Merva, but then not be able to follow up with anything, and then you gain a bunch of memory. Like that's another thing. Like as a player, like Dan said it earlier, you gotta know your other matchups, but you really got to, even if you don't play the deck, you just gotta know how to make them. You gotta make life as hard as possible for them. You gotta know how to do it. You gotta be as memory efficient as possible. Just because you can establish Examon and put them at 7 memory doesn't mean that you should. I won't even do it and give them 5 memory. I'd rather just, okay, I'm at 3 memory. I don't even want to give them 4. That's how bad it is. They have the Tri-Tamer on board. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you that much memory. Like,
it's funny. Yeah. I see. I don't play the good version of Cross. Like I don't play the Minerva Cross. I just play
there's a lot of
I just play the Gundam.
That top.
That's my favorite. I think that version is more fun, at least for me. It's just because I like giant robots more. But I mean, there's been times where someone just gives me like 2 memory, and I'm like, you stupid motherfucker, like you idiot.
Yo,
in that type of deck, it's so stupid.
I'm not gonna lie. When Lychee, when I ice walled Lychee and then I digivolved into Slayer. I forced him to attack. He attacked with the Agumon, left him at 1. When my man went into Gaiomon, like he was at 0 memory after digivolving or something, or maybe I put him to 2. I don't remember. But basically, like I ended up with 7 memory because he went into Gaiomon and swung. And I looked at that and I was like, oh, I'm eating good today. I'm about to abuse 7 memory, and I did. I built another Examon stack, and I also got rid of
the thing is with like Black or Greymon, that's probably literally the only deck you can get away with giving your opponent 5 because of how strong that play is when it happens.
5 is one.
Oh god.
7 though. Because of the ice
I'm just saying in general. I'm saying in general.
Dan, you've given me way worse, but it's been like, all right, you still win. You've like Gaiomon,
done the Haiti Force and then Gaiomon. Yeah.
Oh my god. But then like you've like and then like you've like Blitz Omni'd me into like an Omni X and given me like 10 memory, and I've just been like, I lose. There's nothing I can do.
The craziest play you can do that, and you can give your opponent like a crap ton of memory and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like, well, before, obviously pre-ban list, you go like, Greymon X, you go to Metal Greymon for 2, go Metal Greymon X for 1. Because of that D-Digivolve protection, you can go into like, let's say you put the X antibody, Galmon, and then you go into like the OG Omni X. What are you going to do with an Omni X that has protections from like deletion, bounce, and everything? DP and D-Digivolve protection, and you're just like, I'm just going to negate all your attacks. You can't do anything about it, and you're giving your opponent like 10 memory when that happens.
And if you had a Yuya on the field while that was happening, that was just immune to... my god.
I will say...
Yeah. Dan's done that to me like a handful of times, and I've just been like, this is bullshit.
I will say it's obvious. I mean, like, we already knew it. We knew Greymon X being hit would have freaking decimated Black or Gray out of representation in terms of meta. But like playing against it, and especially playing against Lychee, like
it's still very powerful.
It's still very powerful.
Oh, yeah.
But you really
slower.
Really see the difference between not having that Greymon X.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, he's at 3 memory. He can't gain anymore. Nice. If he's gonna Metal Greymon, he has to pay the 4. Compared to, he could go into Greymon X and then go into Metal Greymon for 2 and then go into Gaiomon. Still give me 4 whatever. It's gonna de-digivolve something twice. Like I wouldn't have been able to get away. I think it definitely would have been in Black War Gray's favor in that matter, because like even if I'm at Examon, that means Examon revert to Slayer, Slayer revert to Wingdra. Yeah, I can evade it, but like damn, that's both a Slayer and an Examon gone. Like that would have been rough. So I mean, the ban list definitely helped Examon for sure. It helped a lot of decks, and it definitely pushed Black War Gray down. And I'm interested to see what it's gonna do for War Greymon not being. I mean, let's be straight. Metal Greymon still digivolves for 3, which is still really good because you're still digivolving and keeping turn. But you know, it'll be interesting to see, you know, how much it was abused digivolving for 1 instead of 3.
Yeah, it just instantly makes War Greymon not maybe like bottom tier 1. I don't know. Like I guess we'll see when it comes around.
Depends who's playing it, bro. Someone like Lychee playing it, bro, that deck's tier 1 all day. You know what I mean? Like if there's someone good playing it, then you know, like
100%.
it's all.
I mean, that's obviously, you know what I'm saying.
It's funny because the deck doesn't even look that scary. Like I look at War Greymon and I'm like, oh look, it had it has raid. Okay, cool. It gains 3,000 DP till the end of your opponent's turn. It gets reboot to the end, and it has an unsuspend link. Ooh, like
and then you play tie, you get in blocker,
and then it has piercing.
That's what makes it scary. Because I was gonna say
the Omnimon that it can go into also gets piercing.
So that's what I was gonna say.
Are you crazy?
The Gallantmon, no, because you look at Gallantmon, you're like, well, Gallantmon has raid, and Gallantmon can trash a security. Like Gallantmon objectively is the better level 6 in that regard. But you look at what the deck does as a whole, and you're like, oh.
To be fair though, Gallantmon can do some crazy stuff because Gallantmon X can unsuspend, and then you unsuspend, and then you go into, and then you blitz again with Takuya, and then you go into the
a Crimson mode.
The Crimson mode, but no, because
no, it's just the Metal Greymon with piercing and playing the Tailors.
That Metal Greymon gives piercing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm almost 100% positive though. Is that it gives piercing to both War Gray and Omnimon.
Greymon.
Yes. So you can literally. Yeah, so you can literally go like swing, like so swing, unsuspend, swing, blitz, swing, like you can go crazy. Like you're insane. That deck's nuts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's gonna be a fun one. I was never really a fan of Black War Gray, so I never really played it. Like I do love Agumon, I love Greymon. I played War Gray X. I just never really got into Black War Gray. It was never really like my thing. I am excited for War.
It's because you're bad at OTK decks.
Shut your mouth, Michael. I don't play OTK decks, and
you
know
are.
That.
I don't know. You play control decks.
Black War Gray is not an OTK deck.
It's because he's generally a more defensive player when he plays Digimon. That's why.
Yes. Which let's talk about regrets, right? I played I think the second Black War Gray player I played. I established Examon. I put out a Slayer, and past turn he didn't raise. Okay, I wanted to wait for him to raise, but I was like, I can't. Like, obviously, I can't just sit back and wait. Like, let me attack security. I didn't want to attack security because I knew there were something told me. Like you ever have that feeling? You know what the top card is gonna be. I knew the top card was gonna be Hades Force, so I purposely didn't swing the first time. But I was like, I can't get away with not swinging. And I didn't want to swing Slayer because I didn't want Slayer to die to like a Black War Gray. So I was like, all right, I'll swing Examon because I can evade and because it'll swing over anything. The chances that I hit Hades Force, it's not that big. I hit Hades Force first check. And I was like,
that's great.
That's that Mike Formato luck, bro. That's Breath of the Gods first check all day, every day.
That's a fact,
bro. I was so tight. It didn't hurt me, in the grand scheme of things. But like, it's stuff like that forces me to be a defensive player. Like, you know what? I need to talk about this right now. You know what had me tight in a fucking pussy? Remember when I went for game?
Bro, what?
Remember when I went for game? He had 4 security left, and 4, yeah.
Oh yeah,
3 or
no,
4
against the
security
Grandel Soul.
and Grandel Soul last check, and I was like,
yeah, that was rough.
I was like, I could wait. Like I'm in a good position. I don't have to aggress. But like, he's got 3 security left. I've got 4 swings. The likelihood that Grandel Soul is in there, it's unlikely. I'm gonna go for it. So I swing Corjamon, good. Swing Examon, good. Corjamon, good. Oh, good. Grandel Soul. I was like, I was
They just be like that in Digimon,
pissed,
man.
bro. I was like, if I lose this game because I got too aggressive, I'm forever going to regret. I will never do this again. Luckily, I didn't.
But that's the game you ended up winning, right?
Yes.
That's the game where he didn't have
because he didn't have a blocker.
He didn't have the other Grandis.
The Grandis or a blocker.
Yeah.
So I was like, thank God. But that had me. I was so pissed when that happened, bro. I was like, this is why I don't do this stuff.
But sometimes you just have to.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes
can't play scared all the time.
Right.
Depending on like the game situation, sometimes you have to like just risk certain attacks, or like hoping that like, you know, my Greymon can swing, it survives, and then that Koromon draw gives me my Metal Greymon I need for game or something. I don't know, some nonsense. And like sometimes you just have to do it, and it pays off at times to gamble it. And sometimes it doesn't pay off.
I was like, I'm gonna lose this match, and I'm gonna lose it because I got aggressive. That was like ringing in my mind through his entire turn. So when he passed it back to me, I was like, "Are there any blockers?" He was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, thank God!" Like, thank God for that. But playing aggressive is not my style, not in the slightest bit.
Nope, not at all.
So no, Michael, I don't play OTK deck.
He doesn't.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said you suck at OTK
I mean,
deck.
to be fair, I mean, I can pilot an OTK deck. I'll never forget my first double Examon.
Doesn't mean you're doing well.
You'd probably be like the least aggressive OTK player ever.
Facts.
That was the most aggressive OTK that we had at the time. I was as aggressive as you could be.
Jessmon?
And you will still sit there. And then you would still sit there.
Didn't you just like? I'm pretty sure you went back to security control during BT6.
You did. You did.
Yeah, you stopped playing Jessmon because you were tired of the Melga mat, or not the Bond. You were tired. You were tired of Gabu.
Yeah,
Bond.
I was. Bond was such a pain in the ass. It's like, okay, cool. You got Sistermon out. Bottom deck. Bottom deck. Bottom deck. No, sorry. Bounce sand. Bounce. Bounce. I was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, that deck was so annoying.
That's why I say that's my most hated deck. Like, Blue Hybrid is annoying.
I played against that deck so much.
Ugh, wow.
Oh god, I hated playing against that deck. I think I was also just so
we had a lot of buffers. We had a lot of buffers at our locals too. So yeah.
And I was so annoyed because like Bandai just made it so much better than Agumon.
Oh, same.
And I don't know if you guys remember, but people were playing like Craniumon in BT6 still. So like Agumon was just useless.
Yeah, because that was when Alphamon came out, right?
Yeah,
so that was early
Black Royal Knights deck.
I mean, I was playing it too, so like I can't complain, but.
Oh my god, I remember. I think it was you, Varni. You was playing the Black Royal Knights, and we was in tournament. I was playing Bond of Courage, and I got it out, and he went hard play Katie. I was like, I can't do anything with this, and I ended up losing because I couldn't do anything with Bob.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, I can't win.
So stupid. Because
you can't kill
Boff, Boff didn't need to bottom deck to unsuspend, right? It just did it for funsies. It just unsuspended no matter what, right? As long as you had the Tamer on field or whatever.
You needed to delete.
If it was a Gabumon in name, it was something. You needed a Gabumon in name or a Tamer on the field, whatever it was.
No. So he unsuspends by himself, and then that same set Gabumon gives it the extra unsuspend.
There we go, yeah. But the stupid, whatever reason Bandai decided to give Agumon, it needed to delete the trash something, which was the most frustrating thing in the world.
Yep.
Because not only is at that point in the game, unsuspending was just like a trillion times better than just taking security anyways. So like I was just dumbfounded the fact that not only did I only get to swing once, I think the Agumon at that time gave the security attack +1, and then you could trash off the bond effect, and I was like, this is so like ridiculous.
So like in concept, right? You know, both are getting
really
rid
cool.
of three securities at once, you know, but like that just unsuspend, swing, unsuspend is so much stronger than just one swing for 3 checks. But yeah, and if they drop the Craniumon, it's like you can't delete it, you can't do anything, and you just lose. Like it's so hard to get around that at that time. I somehow did, and some other people who played it, like I was able to like, I don't know how I got around it, but I think it was just like out swinging them or something like that. But like, it's such a hard.
I was playing that deck
at that time.
When did I stop playing? I think I stopped playing that deck around.
Hey,
18,
yo, we could bring back Gobblebon this set, baby. That Greymon plays free ties, baby. We could do something spicy with it.
I mean, it has raid, right? So it's not like it's horrible. Like it could combo
Greymon.
with
No,
BT.
Greymon doesn't. Metal Greymon does. Greymon can play tie for free.
Gotcha. Yeah. You're talking about. Okay, yeah. My bad. Wrong one. But I mean, still, even if you do include it, because you do still get to play a tamer off of it when it switches attack target. So like combo with like BT5 Greymon, that would swing for like 10k, and then you got the egg 11k. You got the Agu promo 13k with raid.
You guys are sipping some copium right now.
I'm not sipping any copium.
I'm saying facts. If facts can play a free tie, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can do it if you wanted to. That's not copium, it's facts. You legit can if you wanted to.
Listen.
Yeah.
Only copium.
You're not wrong.
The only copium I'm drinking is Examon.
Examon best deck format.
Best deck format. Exactly.
Yeah, for the whole day and a half.
Whole day.
Was still
exactly, y'all. Let me say it.
And then our locals happens next week, and then he like plays Examon and gets bodied by hunters.
Entirely possible. Listen, I'm forever going down in history as the player who took Examon to a win at North American Regionals, and the one to do it right before we hit BT12. Right before Examon might very well phase out of existence. Well, at least for us.
And then he was never heard from again.
Yeah, right. And when the world needed him most, he vanished, right? Nah, I'm not even gonna front. Yo, did y'all see the Shine Gray versus Royal Knights match Russ Merrow put out today?
I did.
No, I haven't gotten the
that video.
That man had every single Shine Gray.
I'm in California, bro. I flew like 40 hours.
That was weird.
Mike, you gotta go watch that video. That video was so spicy. I can't wait. I'm so excited for BT13. I can't wait to get my hands on Shine.
It's so whack how like EX4 was the EX04 Marcus or the Marcus that came out that can just boo free.
It's the one we're about to get.
Free Evos.
Yeah, it's the one we're about to get.
Yeah.
Free Evos.
Free Evos just. And he had like 3 off the back at one point, and he was like,
he just climbed.
Free Evo to Rise Greymon, free Rise Greymon X, I think it was, and then he went to a free Shine, and then no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Rise X free. It was free Rise, free Shine Gray, and then a free Ruin mode. I was like, yeah, like what the like, come on, how's that legal? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't Marcus say smacking the ban? My fault. They're waiting for us to buy all of it so we can get smacked. That's what.
Yes, sir. That's the fact.
I can almost guarantee that Marcus is gonna get hit for us. No shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the funny part is, right? Like, as good as that Marcus is, I still think that deck is gonna do fine when that Marcus gets hit. Like, we're gonna have that one less Marcus, but because we're still gonna have 5. Well, technically, there's 9 that you can play.
The problem is that one gives free evos. Like the deck didn't need
it's gonna slow it down the same way it slowed
like burst mode didn't need to be free. Burst mode doesn't need to be free and stay on board.
Yeah, exactly.
Cost whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
or ruin mode.
It was just, it got so much like within that like 2-3 support. BT12, EX04, and then BT13 just got some cracked like support. Like your Greymons make your Marcuses go back to like, you know, the security just so it can be played out again. Like it got so much so fast that it was just crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild times out there. I can't wait to see it either. But I know I'm with Mike. I know they're gonna hit it right when we get it.
Yeah, they've got to, bro. They hate us.
They hate us.
'cause they hate us, bro.
All right. I think we can wrap it up early for today's episode. We're at an hour and a half. We haven't really like had any topics that we talked about, so I think we're good to wrap it up here.
We had our main topic.
We had our main topic.
What are you talking
Exactly.
about?
We had our guest today, Mr. Varni here himself.
The winner of Core TCG's regional, baby.
You know it. Hey, yo, so you see that camera back there? There's a camera right here.
Sure, yeah.
Just bought that. So I can now record our webcam video, or our locals videos on Sundays, because I don't have to worry about forgetting stuff, because that's what happened the last time, because I freaking forgot things at home. So now I have stuff that I just have for recording. So y'all who are still watching, first of all, appreciate y'all, but y'all can expect live streamed locals every Sunday. Y'all can also expect to see some more videos. That being said, we also have permission from Eggman to use the stream footage to commentate over for my last 3 rounds, which we will be doing. Excuse me. So expect that later in the week. And yeah, we are doing good things over here at DigiGuard United. So if you're not part of the Discord, I implore you to join the Discord. We're not just a bunch of scrubs with a podcast. That's the biggest takeaway from this weekend. We're not just a bunch of scrubs with a podcast. You know?
Yeah. Now we're one guy who won a regional and 2 scrubs of the podcast.
For the record, the next winner of a regional is gonna be me, so it's gonna happen now.
So it's gonna be two regional winners and a scrub.
Yeah. I don't know when the regional win will happen, but it's gonna happen this year. In 2023, it's gonna happen.
Strive for greatness. That's all I'll say. That being said, Twitch chat, YouTube chat, Lychee King, Ray, Brendan, who else was here? Leppy, Coach, Onslaught, Greg, Reese, Captain Soapy. I appreciate all you guys for coming to check us out. Most of y'all are part of the Discord.
Yeah, don't forget my boy Astramus Prime was definitely
Astramus, I know, I'm sorry. Astramus said, just want to say, you guys are awesome, and I'm glad to be part of this community. Astramus, we are freaking glad to have you, bro.
My guy.
Best decision, one of the...
I be play testing with him all the time, bro. He's good.
One of the best decisions we ever made was opening our Discord community. It's been really great. We just hope to continue growing it. If y'all didn't see the intro on the new video, there's a new intro. We got some of our commissions back, so I incorporated our chibis. So I'm still waiting on our playmats to come through. I'm also waiting to start my job next week, and then we can start hosting some tournaments, because we will have prizing to be giving away. All in due time.
I'm about to quit my job. We'll swap roles, bro.
Wait, I'll make. I
don't want to be an adult anymore, bro. I'm done with it.
Same, bro. Same.
I'm quitting.
Anyways, that's it for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast. So, until we talk to you guys the next time, peace out.
Yo, peace, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Catch y'all on the next one.